From William Stickevers, Strategic Astrological Advisor.
The History of Halloween, A Cultural Time Capsule by William Stickevers. Beyond the candy and costumes lies a holiday that reflects humanity's evolving relationship with death, faith, and the supernatural. To understand modern Halloween, we must trace its journey from ancient bonfires to the silver screen. Ancient Celtic roots. Halloween's earliest trace is Samhain, the ancient Celtic festival celebrated 2,000 years ago in what is now Ireland, the UK, and northern France. Samhain marked the end of harvest and the beginning of winter, a season associated with death. November 1st was the Celtic New Year, and the night before, October 31st, was considered a liminal time when the veil between the living and the dead grew thin, allowing spirits to cross into our world. The Celts built sacred bonfires for protection and honored their ancestors by setting places at the table for deceased loved ones, a precursor to modern trick-or-treating. They wore costumes of animal heads and skins to disguise themselves from harmful spirits. Druids performed divination, seeking comfort and guidance for the long winter ahead. The Church takes hold. After Rome conquered Celtic territory, the Church deliberately blended Samhain with Christian holidays. In 835 AD, Pope Gregory IV moved All Saints' Day to November 1st, strategically placing it on an already sacred date. Soon after, All Souls' Day was established on November 2nd, creating a three-day observance called All Hallowtide, fundamentally about redemption and the doctrine of purgatory. By the 12th century, the tradition of souling emerged. The poor would go door to door begging for soul cakes in exchange for praying for the dead. This practice, encouraged by the Church, directly evolved into trick-or-treating. People continued wearing costumes to avoid recognition by vengeful spirits. The Irish also began carving grotesque faces into turnips, inspired by the folk tale of Stingy Jack, a man banned from both heaven and hell. This became the jack-o'-lantern. Halloween crosses the Atlantic. Halloween was initially limited in colonial America due to rigid Protestant beliefs, but millions of Irish immigrants fleeing the potato famine in the mid-1800s popularized it nationwide. Early American celebrations featured harvest parties with storytelling, fortune-telling, and dancing. By the turn of the century, Halloween parties for children and adults became the most common celebration, focusing on seasonal games and foods. The astrological connection. Halloween's timing is no accident. It falls during the transition from Libra into Scorpio, the sign of transformation, death, and the spirit world. Scorpio, ruled by Mars and Pluto, focuses on delving into the unknown, perfectly aligning with the ancient belief in the thinning veil. This celestial rhythm has anchored Halloween for millennia, connecting it to timeless themes of darkness, mystery, and rebirth. The birth of modern Halloween. Two pivotal moments reshaped Halloween into what we know today. First, the 1907 Plaza Hotel Ball in New York introduced Halloween into high society, establishing lavish, adult-oriented celebrations. The event's astrological chart shows the sun in Scorpio with Neptune conjunct the ascendant, signifying a collective awakening to imagination, spirituality, and aesthetic sensitivity. Then came Harry Houdini's death on October 31st, 1926. The master escape artist who spent his life debunking spiritualism died on the very day of the thinning veil. Before his death, he and his wife created a secret code, Believe, to communicate from beyond the grave. Years later, a medium reportedly delivered Houdini's message. His widow held seances every Halloween for years, hoping to reconnect. Houdini's final challenge became permanently woven into Halloween's narrative about life, death, and the supernatural. Hollywood's haunting influence. But it was Hollywood that truly shaped modern Halloween. Classic horror films from the early 1930s, Frankenstein, Dracula, the Mummy, etched powerful archetypes into our culture, becoming Halloween staples. As an astrologer, I see these monsters as cosmic energies. Dracula embodies Pluto and Scorpio's transformative power and forbidden desires. Frankenstein's monster represents Uranus, the unintended consequences of ambition and sudden disruption. The Mummy channels Saturn's karmic weight, the inescapable burden of the past. Hollywood also popularized trick-or-treating through films and cartoons from the 1930s to 50s, transforming a local tradition into a nationwide phenomenon. Television hosts like Vampira and Elvira became Halloween ambassadors, blending spookiness with comedy. The modern haunted house was born when Walt Disney's Haunted Mansion opened in 1969, blending animatronics and cinematic effects. The slasher genre of the late 70s, especially John Carpenter's Halloween, made these attractions even more intense. Today's costume market is driven by pop culture. A blockbuster film or viral meme can dictate the year's most popular costumes, making Halloween a reflection of our current cultural moment. Halloween's ever-changing purpose. Throughout history, Halloween has adapted to each era's needs. For the medieval church, it was about redemption. During the Renaissance, it redistributed wealth through souling. In early 20th century America, it helped assimilate European immigrants. In the 1950s, it became a family-friendly children's holiday. Today, Halloween's ancient themes of death and rebirth remain timeless. After 9/11, the New York City Village Halloween Parade was led by a giant phoenix puppet symbolizing death and rebirth, providing a modern framework for processing grief and finding hope. From the mid-1960s onward, Halloween has also become a definitive celebration for the New Age and occult communities. Seekers, mystics, and spiritualists gather to acknowledge the spiritual veil and celebrate the unseen with a reverence that mirrors Christmas. The heart of Halloween. What strikes me most is Halloween's consistent return to core Scorpio themes: death, transformation, and rebirth. Whether through ancient bonfires, medieval soul cakes, Hollywood monsters, or a phoenix puppet, Halloween has always been a time to collectively confront darkness and find hope in the cycle of renewal. It's a reminder that the veil between worlds, spiritual, historical, and cultural, is at its thinnest on this one magical night, offering a unique opportunity for both remembrance and reinvention.
For nearly 4 decades, William Stickevers has empowered business leaders, independent thinkers, and visionaries to navigate global shifts and critical turning points with clarity and confidence. His unique blend of advanced astrological techniques, macroeconomic insights, and strategic forecasting equips clients to stay ahead of the curve and thrive in uncertain times. Discover how William's in-depth forecasts, programs, and astrological consultations can help you make more confident, well-timed decisions and recognize opportunities others overlook. Visit williamstickevers.com for your strategic advantage in business, finances, and life.